laki na po ng improvement, combination ng NCAP, ng tech. Yung po yung tingin namin sa safety, it's not really just us as platforms, it's not really just the government, it's not really just the passengers, it's really the ecosystem.
Because of NCAP, ang sagot doon ay laging merong nagbabantay.
Laging may nagbabantay.
Nakatutok ang gobyerno sa'yo.
The NCAP goes hand in hand in making sure that a third party is also making sure that our drivers are behaving properly on the road.
Welcome to MMDA, Kwentong Kalsada. Today, meet the representatives from 3 of the most widely used TNVS in the Philippines. Mr. Carlo Castro from Angkas, Mr. Ira Cruz from Grab Philippines, and Mr. Cesar Rojas from Move It.
Magandang araw po sa ating lahat at narito na naman po tayo sa isang episode ng ating Kwentong Kalsada, the MMDA Podcast. Sa ngayong araw na ito, kasama naman natin hindi lang iisang tao, but 3. And masusupresa kayo dahil itong mga representatives na ito, they are the ones who are pinaka nagagamit natin ang kanilang mga services at sila rin yung mga isa sa mga pinaka kilala na modes of transportation who can ease up not only traffic congestion but also napapabilis ang ating mga biyahe. Maraming natutulungan na bibigyan ng hanap buhay. Ipapakilala lang po natin ang ating tatlong matitikas, mga gwapong representative. Unang-una, of course, from Angkas, Mr. Carlo Castro. Sir Carlo, kamusta po kayo?
Good morning, Sir Gab.
Sumunod, of course, from Grab, si Mr. Ira Cruz. Sir Ira,
Good morning.
how are
Thank
you?
you for having us over.
I heard you're multilingual. So, ni hao.
Ni hao.
So, that's how are you. And of course, hindi natin makakalimutan ang ating Move It. Siyempre, Sir Cesar Rojas.
Hey, good morning po.
Good morning po sa
Good morning
inyo.
po. Thank you
And
for having us.
we really appreciate for you guys coming over here sa ating Kwentong Kalsada sa MMDA Podcast. Alam naman natin, no, one of the growing networks of ride-hailing apps ang the 3 of you guys, di ba? Sa araw-araw, napakaraming mga Pilipino, napakaraming mga kababayan natin ang natutulungan not only to ease up the burden of traveling from their house to their workplace, to run their errands, napapabilis ang mga biyahe. And of course, you guys help to ease up traffic congestion. So napakalaking bagay ng inyong mga ginagawa. So first and foremost, hindi man tayo nag-umpisa pa, gusto na namin magpasalamat dahil sa mga ginagawa niyo, not only yung serbisyo na hinahatid niyo, no, but also when it comes to riders' education. Dahil alam naman po natin, higher standards of rider education, rider safety, of course, nanggagaling not only sa ating mga motorista ng 4 wheels, but also sa mga riders po natin. Ngunit sa pagsabay at ng pag-unlad ng ating mga makabagong means of transportation, the ride-hailing app, no? Alam din natin, kasabay nito ang mga makabagong pagpapatupad ng batas, bagong mga sistema when it comes to traffic management and traffic enforcement. At alam naman natin, isa sa pinakabago at the most recent, of course, our non-contact apprehension or tinatawag natin NCAP. What is your opinion? Kung ano ba ang naitutulong at anong mga changes ang nangyari when NCAP was launched?
Yeah.
Let's start probably from Sir Ira.
Sir, well, first of all, maraming salamat sa MMDA for inviting us to be in this podcast. Kung patatandaan natin, sir, nung unang inilunsad yung NCAP, pinasinayan tayo ng MMDA na mag-attend sa podcast ng Grab nung panahon na yun, ano? At nagkaroon pa tayo ng driver forum. Kasama po kayo, si Chairman Artes, para masagot yung mga tanong ng driver community. Ano? So, napakalaking tulong ng unang-una, no, na nasagot agad yung mga agam-agam, yung mga fears ng mga drivers through those 2 opportunities. Ano? And I guess we're happy to say that at this point, medyo nagtitaper off na. No? Medyo sanay na yung mga driving community natin na meron ng NCAP. So maganda rin yung kasi it works hand in hand with our policies to make sure na yung mga drivers namin ay disiplinado, alam ang batas trapiko, at dahil at nagiging complementary siya. Kasi kami, sa app namin, namomonitor namin real-time yung performance ng mga drivers namin. At syempre, the NCAP goes hand in hand in making sure that a third party is also making sure that our drivers are behaving properly on the road.
Alam mo, that's a very good insight when you talk about behavior. So parang nagiging parang nagiging deterrent also, no? Sorry for the term, but maraming mga pasaway pa rin talaga mga motorcycle riders. Not guys, not only mga ride-hailing apps, but mga regular na mga nagmomotor, maraming mga pasaway. And I think NCAP serves as a deterrent, as sabi nga ng ating partner from Grab. Sir, from Move It, ano ang ating insight about that?
Yeah. So, bago yung NCAP, ang kadalasan na pag-usapan dito is, mahuhuli ba ako? Magkano ba yan? So, nung na-mention nga ni Ira na nag-taper off na, nag-iiba na yung usapan, ngayon, nagiging safe ba ako sa biyahe? Hindi na siya yung mahuhuli ba ako. Parang, safe ba ako sa biyahe? Makakauwi ba ako sa pamilya ko? Pasahero ko ba? Madadala ko ba dun sa point B nang walang harm? So, I think yun yung pinaka-importante. Kaya, malaking paniniwala rin na technology scales where you can't put eyes on the road, no? So, aligned dun sa concept ng panopticon. Sinasabi may panopticon, yung pinapanood ka, pero hindi naman dahil mas may gagawin ka masama. Pero nagkakaroon ka ng integridad na nagagawin mo yung tama all the time.
So it's more on integrity and accountability for Move It.
Yes, correct.
And of course, sa ating partners, Angkas, no?
Siguro po, sir, for Angkas naman po, the keywords are consistency and objectivity. We say consistency kasi kung ikaw yung rider, yung mga biker po natin sa daan, ang unang iniisip mo is may nagbabantay ba? Because of NCAP, ang sagot doon ay laging merong nagbabantay.
Laging may nagbabantay.
Nakatutok ang gobyerno sa'yo. And to your point, sir, that provides a deterrent. No? Dahil alam nila, 24/7, hindi ako pwedeng lumabag. So that really enforces the road discipline side. Kaya laking pasalamat po namin dito sa initiative of MMDA. The second part is, meron nga nanguhuli. Ang pangalawa naman ay, bakit ako lang? Is it
Okay.
applied equally to all? So doon papasok yung objectivity. Dahil sa NCAP, at pinaliwanag po ng MMDA ito sa bikers natin na may due process naman para i-contest, para linawin kung meron bang batayan para hulihin ka. Malinaw yung rubrics na bakit ako nag-violate? Kasi dito sa footage na to, ito po yung violation ninyo and so on and so forth. Dahil may rubrics po tayo, nagiging objective. Hindi siya parang hinuli mo ako dahil kung ano mang dahilan yung
Kung ano
maisip
lang.
natin. But because it's uniform, it's always there, it's standard, at may pamantayan tayo, at kung magkamali man doon sa pamantayan, we can always contest. That that continues to provide a semblance of normalcy, that it's always there, at kailangan ko laging sumunod. At kung hindi man ako, kung mapatunayan man na nag-violate ako, malinaw naman pala yung pamantayan kung bakit ako nahuli. So, malaking tulong po ito, sir. We monitor, gaya po ng Grab at ng Move It, Angkas monitors the safety and the accident. We have a metric for accidents. Nabibilang po natin yan araw-araw ilan yung aksidente. I'm proud to say, since we've rolled this out, we've seen, lalo na kung yung mga level 0 cases, yung mga road discipline or basic minor accidents dahil sa kawalan ng disiplina, we
Mas
can
bawas,
provide
no?
Bumababa po. And at least that's concrete data that gumagana so far po yung initiative
and
ng
I think,
MMDA.
one of the biggest changes that we see on the road na marami kasing sinasabi pag nagmamaneho ng motor, walang disiplina. But if you're on the road, like me, everyday ako nasa kalsada, nakikita ko ang laki ng pagbabago eh. Kasi bakit?
Yes.
For Grab, it's deterrent. For Move It, it serves as an accountability. And for Angkas, it's more on transparency of the people as well, di ba? So, mas nagkakaroon tayo ng responsibilidad na alam natin na 24/7 na mayroong nagbabantay sa'yo. But then again, no, as one of the leading ride-hailing app in the industry right now, ano ba ang maitutulong natin or ano ang ginagawa natin to ensure not only the riders, no, but also passengers natin. First and foremost, of course, the riders yung ma-maintain yung disiplina. And of course, idadagdag ko na yan, no, for the passengers, for us to maintain their safety as well.
So sa Grab, no, when we talk about safety, it's across 3 stages, no? Before, during the ride, and even after the ride.
Okay.
So when you talk about before the ride, may tinatawag kaming passenger verification and driver verification. I guess as I discuss all of this, what's important for the audience to understand is that when we talk about safety, hindi lang siya safety ng passenger, safety din siya ng driver, but also safety of the people around, say the vehicles, no? So when you have, before the ride, you have passenger selfie to make sure that the driver is protected, meaning yung sumakay, yung pasahero. On the driver side, driver selfie, to make sure na yung driver, siya mismo talaga yung authorized na driver, no? And of course, there are the safety trainings and briefings before that. Now, during the ride, and I think a lot of people would notice this, pag nakabukas yung kanilang app, merong tinatawag na safety center. If at any time, they fear for whatever reason, or there's an SOS button.
Okay.
There's a trip monitoring. They can share their trip details with their loved ones or family members or friends, so they can track their journey. Pero may mga tinatawag din kami telematics. So these are things that monitor, is the driver driving within regulatory or regulation speed limits. And then yung isa pa, yung tinatawag na fatigue nudge. We also make sure na yung mga drivers hindi sinasagad yung kanilang pagmamaneho.
Hindi yung kasi a lot of accidents or mga traffic issues is because of minsan sinasabi nga pagod.
Yes,
so I think that's a very good
So there's
meron
a fatigue nudge to make sure na kapag sumusobra na yung kanilang pagmamaneho, they're prompted by the app to make sure na magpahinga kayo muna, take a little break. And even things like profanity measures, no, kapag may narinig yung app, for as long as the passenger authorizes it, the app can detect profanity language, no, or heightened voices. And of course, may audio protect. Again, these are things that if the passenger allows for it, it records the whatever happens in the cabin. Ano. And these are things that could be material to any investigation for any complaints in the future, no, which protects, again, both the driver and the passengers. And then after, of course, we have feedback mechanisms. The passenger can share feedback in the same way that the driver can also share feedback. And then insurance for any road crashes or
Just
any,
in case.
Just in case. So talagang it's before, during, and after, and really with passengers, drivers, and the people around it in mind.
I think yan yung isa sa mga pinakamalaking kalaban ng ating mga ako personally I'm very thankful for all the ride-hailing app riders natin, no? Kasi hindi lang malaking tulong ang ginagawa sa convenience ng ating mga pasahero, but also they themselves become more responsible as well. Kasi unang-una, like yesterday or a few days ago, I've talked to one rider from a ride-hailing app. Nalaman ko na talagang double job. In the morning, ibang trabaho niya. In the afternoon, he's gonna go ride-hailing na all the way hanggang gabi. Tapos, alam mo, maririnig mo yung mga storya. Alam mo, tulad na kanina, sinasabi natin na kanina, nung kukwentuhan tayo, hindi naman kasi dapat lagi na lang negative ang narinig. Tapos yun yung ginagawa natin ng issue. Because a lot of our riders, from all the ride-hailing apps, iba yung storya. Alam mo, pag narinig yung mga storya nila, ako personally ever heard it, 2 anak, kakapanganak lang. Alam mo, it's very heartwarming na natutulungan natin sila. Moving on forward, no? How about sa Move It? What's your opinion as regard to that?
Correct. So, sa akin po, yung sagot po, hiwalay ko po sa dalawa. Una, yung safety led by professionalism, and then safety driven by tech, no, at scale. So, pag sinabi nating safety kasi, may root yan, which is professional yung mga riders. And yun yung po yung naging kagandahan ng industriya. Dati, kahit sino, free for all, pwede mag-angkas ng tao, habal-habal, no? Ngayon, dahil may mga regulasyon tayo, may mga rules, and then may mga tech na nandyan in place, naging professional yung mga motorcycle drivers. Yung pinaka-importante po dyan is, bago sila maging rider, yung sinasabi ni Ira na before, during, after, lahat yan kailangan ipasa, no?
Correct.
Vetted yan. Government documents, training, and then yung meron kaming academy on professionalism.
I think, is it the same as the, yung training course natin, yung academy?
Yes.
Is it the
Yes,
same?
po.
Okay.
And then, leading on, so andun yung professionalism, hopefully you have more safer rides, yung technology at scale. So, isang example, ako paborito ko is, yung habang nagmamaneho ka, even before mahuli ka ng MMDA, nababasa ng app kung paano ka magbiyahe. So, nakikita nila, again, yung speeding, overspeeding. Pag nakita na, EDSA, lilipat yan EDSA, 60. Pag lumagpas ka ng 60, masyado kang mabilis. Kapag lumipat ka ng school zone, bababa yan. Sabihin natin, 35 or 30. Just because the map technology and then context-based, nasasabi sa driver, sandali lang, lagpas ka na sa 30, pagalang mo na onte. Tapos, ang maganda dyan, real-time po, no? Kahit walang tao nakabantay, may report yan. Lalabas sa amin, may kita namin, sino ba tong mga driver na kailangan namin turuan maging safe pa? Kadalasan, ang laki na po ng improvement combination ng NCAP, ng tech. Yung po yung tingin namin sa safety, it's not really just us as platforms. It's not really just the government. It's not really just the passengers. It's really the ecosystem. Kasi you're only as safe as how the people around
the
you
people,
are driving
yes.
as well, right? And then next is, para rin sa safety ng passengers at ng drivers, ang paborito ko po is yung may audio protect technology. So ito yung, think of it as parang sa airplane, meron kang black box. I-opt-in lang naman yan ng driver, i-opt-in ng pasahero. At during the ride, may kita na nakikinig siya. Ano yung safe ba yung driver ko? Safe ba yung passenger ko?
So naririnig siya through the app.
Opo. Yun yung parang bago po naming na ilabas, no? Para kapag may habang nagda-drive, at ease yung driver. Yun naman yung lagi naming vision eh. Paano namin matutulungan yung driver at pasahero na umuwi ng safe, na hindi kakaba-kaba.
Correct.
Ang dami kasing factors na hindi control, no? You can only drive as safe if the people and the ecosystem around you are safe as well.
Tama yan. The environment will reflect, no? Kung how
Correct.
everything will happen.
We're all a bubble. We're all an ecosystem that we should play well together.
That's a very, very good insight.
Yeah.
Angkas, you have the floor.
Yeah, tama boss yung mga nabanggit ni Ira at ni Cesar, no. I think ang punto nila is we are using the digital or the tech platform to monitor the safety of our bikers and our passengers. Ang maidagdag ko lang po, because we're also doing the same things. Bago pa tayo pumunta doon sa platform aspect, nandun muna tayo doon sa sino ba yung mga drivers o bikers sa pinipili natin. Ito po siguro yung gusto kong emphasize, no. I think all of us are doing it. Matindi po yung training system natin when it comes to onboarding riders. It has a practical component and a theoretical component.
Theoretical, yes.
Yung pong ating theoretical component, it's the one na salamat din po sa MMDA. It's an aligned curriculum with TESDA that teaches you the basic safety skills na kailangan bago ka pagmaneho. And the practical side of it is you actually drive through yung it's safe distance, lane discipline, yung pong mga road hazards. It's simulated in an actual course. And ayon sa statistics namin, sir, I think 8 out of 10 of in your first try, you really fail this course. Ganun po siya kahirap, ano. So
Ganun ka-rigid.
kailangan nyo pong ulitin yung, so hindi in other words, hindi kayo maaaring maging biker ng angkas or I hope ng Movit at ng Grab kung hindi ka dumaan sa both practical and theoretical. May last point lang po, sir, is kasama dun sa theoretical yung paano natin tratuhin yung customer, yung pasahero.
Actually, that's a very, I'm pretty sure all of you guys are very particular to that kasi lagi natin sinasabi, customer satisfaction should always be guaranteed and top-notch. Sige, sir, go ahead.
Yes, sir. So, down to kasi what might be acceptable to, lalo na may sariling kultura yung ating mga riders. Sa palagay nila, this is a friendly conversation. Ito yung mga pwede kong sabihin, which might not come across to the passenger na baka for the passenger that's offensive.
Baka offensive na, yes.
What can I say and what can I say? So, we train them down to, paano ba natin tratuhin yung mga customer natin down to the dialogue or the conversation that you can share, So, that's on nabanggit po kasi nila yung platform experience. Bago ka mag-onboard is what I'm emphasizing on. And in the worst case na nagkaroon po tayo kasi ang topic natin is paano panatiling ligtas. Doon po sa SOS button natin, nakalink po yan diretso to a 24/7 medical assistance. So, we have hospitals on standby.
Okay.
We have law enforcement on standby as well. So, kapag po nag-SOS, kukunin po yung report. Kung nakakausap, kung hindi man, we just detect the location. We have 24/7 responders. Kung medical attention or police assistance, we provide that po 24/7.
Wow. So
comprehensive na po siya.
comprehensive ang approach natin. And that is something I think most of our viewers or karamihan ng mga customers ng mga ride-hailing apps natin, hindi nila kabisado or hindi sila aware of that. Because with you guys talking about it right now, personally, very comprehensive, as sabi nga ng Angkas. It's something na all-in-one na. Hindi mangangamba ang mga customers natin, hindi matatakot ang mga pasahero natin with all those rigid trainings, with all those safety features, and yung pinakahuli ang pinakagusto ko customer satisfaction, di ba? I mean, that's the most important thing right now, especially in your industry, you're ferrying people. Dapat safe ang tao, masaya ang tao para babalik-balikan, tatangkilikin kayo. Moving forward, aside from all those technicalities, Alam naman natin yung mga motor ng ating mga riders, araw-araw ginagamit yan. How do we inject to them yung tinatawag nating responsibility to, una-una syempre, precautionary checks, safety checks, maintenance of your motorcycles, at iba pang mga bagay, no? How do we inject it to them? Or how do we maintain na alam nila at hindi nila nakakalimutan yung mga bagay na yan? Maybe we can start with with Angkas.
Well, sa amin po, aside from, kasi hindi po sapat na you just train them to onboard. Pinapatawag po natin sila for the regular. So, una-una, bago ka sumali, we inspect not just, aside from the training, we inspect the physical motorcycle, that it is roadworthy, na pasado yan. There are regulations around that, gaano katanda yung motor mo, ano yung kanyang minimum or maximum na capacity ng makina, and so on and so forth. May regulations po yan ayon sa LTFRB. So kasama po yan dun sa inspection. But we do regular checks, no? Usually that's 1 year. We inspect again yung ating not just a motor vehicle, but pinapatawag din natin yung bikers to a refresher course.
Okay.
And so in short, meron tayong cadence na regular, usually 1 year.
So kayo
para
na rin ang
ma-refresh.
check ng mga nila, ng mga equipments nila or the motorcycles?
Yes, sir. But we do make an exemption. Kung halimbawa nagkaroon ka ng kaso o napapansin na dumadami yung complaint, bumababa yung rating, we can intervene. Pwede po nating ipatawag at we can provide the appropriate intervention or counseling kung parang anong nangyayari, bakit hindi masaya ang customer sa'yo, then we can provide that intervention. So both on the motorcycle check at pati po dun sa behavior so parehong motor at yung
Tao,
biker,
yung rider,
na nakakapag-intervene po tayo, both on a regular basis and on an intervention-based, real-time need basis po.
Maganda. It's a very, I think the perfect term would be yung sinabi nga kanina, no? Comprehensive. Yes, sir. How about sa move it? Ano ba ang natin?
Siguro idaan ko muna sa kwento, tapos ikwento ko yung specific. Kanina...
Saktong-saktong to. Saktong-sakto. Kwentong kalsada to.
Kanina papunta ako dito, gamit ko Move It, no? Papunta dito sa napakagandang studio ninyo. Tapos nakikwentuhan kami ng driver. Sabi niya, etong motor ko, ito yung nagpapakain sa pamilya ko.
Okay.
Ito yung pambayad ko sa tuition. So sa akin, ito yung kailangan kong alagaan. So yun yung tumatak sa akin, na yung professionalismo ba, na more than the attitude, the way they treat their bikes is their source of livelihood. So, lagi niya kinikwento, nagme-maintain yan. So, pag may kita ako, hindi ko ginagastos yan. Tatabi ko yung portion para sa maintenance, no? Whether sa motor itself at sa gear. Helmet, importante kasi yan yung
Yes.
nararamdaman ng customer.
Correct.
Yung visor, no? Every ride, kaya namin kumuha ng datos na real-time. Ano yung mga feedback ng customer na sino dito yung kailangan ayusin yung helmet? Sino dito yung may parang tunog yung motor, no? Tapos, in the spirit of fairness, hindi namin, pag may isang comment, hindi namin sinasabi, oh, sira yung helmet mo. May data analytics pa yan. Ito, madalas ito yung issue niya. Tatali na yan sa programa na, okay, baka kailangan natin check yung roadworthiness of ito. Mga maliliit lang naman yung pili. Na napansin namin, helmet mo, laging kinukomplain. Baka dahil walang, kulang sa strap or yung visor na natatanggal. So mag-o-offer kami ng programa na makakuha sila ng bagong gear,
helmet.
no? Siyempre, safety first ng
Yes.
pasahero. And then pagdating naman sa bike, yan dyan yung mga comment na kailangan linisin or not well maintained. Yun ay may programa na nagkakaroon kami ng safety inspection, no? This is done on a regular basis, every year, every 6 months. And then, andun rin yung parang as-needed basis. Papatatawag yan. In the spirit of fairness again, i-check muna kung consistent yung comments. So, pag nagpatawag, pupunta lang sa office, inspect namin physically. Okay, yung side mirror mo mukhang kailangan i-check. Kasi
Okay.
marami ngayon yung mga side mirror. Diba?
Detachable.
Yung paborito nyo sa mga palabas nyo.
Favorite ko yun eh. Yung walang side mirror.
Yung mga side mirror. So, sasabihin namin, okay, kailangan namin, ayusin mo muna to side mirror mo para makapag-online ulit, no? So, parang, it's just that the industry, again, ibabalik ko sa contribution ng industry. Naging professional talaga yung ugali ng drivers, not only to their passengers, but also to their tool of work, which is yung motorcycle itself.
Alam mo, just a comment about professionality. Alam mo, in fairness sa mga ride-hailing app drivers natin, minsan pag napapara ko, alam mo, before, pag pinara mo, bakit? Ngayon, pag pinara mo, sir, magandang umaga po, magandang hapon po. yun agad ang bungad eh. Diba? So, I think we are improving not only on the service, but also yung ugali, behavior ng ating mga riders. And I think that's a very, very important factor. Kasi nga, babalik tayo, no? Pag masaya ang mga customers natin, definitely, mas lalaki at mas tatangkilikin tayo. Diba? Yes, sir. You have the floor.
I guess, bro, wala kasi kami two-wheel. So, but then again, but just like everybody else, no, we subject all of our drivers to the same skill sets training, no. We also conduct on a regular basis the inspection of the vehicle itself. So we ask we do random checks on the vehicle as well. Then I guess we also go back to any of the feedback from the customers. No, we take all of the feedback very, very seriously, such that whenever a customer after a ride would pass on star ratings or
Yes.
comments, they're assigned a case number, and then they're asked if they want to receive updates. Yung ba kasi ayaw na eh.
Correct.
But then we even give them options. Would you like to receive updates on your investigation? And we really make sure that they follow a standard, an SLA, as a standard response time. To make sure
Standard response time. Okay.
SLA is standard
Service level
standard service level agreement.
Okay.
To make sure na kasi we also want to encourage our customers to provide feedback.
Yes, of course.
Kung nag-feedback sila, wala namang ma-action, siyempre discouraged din sila. And everybody's feedback is very important to improve the service further,
Yes.
to make sure that all the drivers are following policy. And of course, that goes both ways, no? The drivers can also submit comments about the passengers to make sure that everybody is monitored.
Correct.
So we make sure also that all of these feedback or comments are seriously taken into consideration.
Well, alam nyo, when it comes to providing services, customer feedbacks plays a big role, especially not only in the improvement, but also maintaining the good standards or the highest standards that we can provide to our customers.
And in all honesty, kasi pag the way we see it, no, kapag nag-complain o nagbigay ng feedback yung passenger, sabihin, the passenger cares.
Yes.
Gusto ko, inaasahan ko itong serbisyo na to sa araw-araw na pagpasok ko sa trabaho.
Tama.
I wanna make sure na maayos siya, no? Kasi pwede naman hindi mag-feedback tapos lumipat na lang sa iba.
Lumipat na sa iba.
So, mas gusto naman namin na continual na nai-improve yung service through the feedback of our
Tama yan, no?
passengers.
If they feedback, means they care.
Yes.
I think yan yung dapat natin ginagawa. Kasi minsan, a lot of us, pag nagtatanong ng feedback, ayoko sumagot, hayaan mo na sila, di ba? So, we encourage you give us feedbacks din. Para at least malaman natin, there are always rooms for improvements, di ba? And, alam mo, gusto ko lang matanong, no? Kasi I've seen a lot of posts on social media, comments, na minsan yung mga feedback platform na ginagawa sa ating mga riders or mga bikers natin, alam mo yung minsan trip-trip lang. Yung kunwari, nag-pin ako dito sa letter A, dahil sarado, hindi pwedeng pumasok, ibababa ka ng konting, alam mo, like 20 meters away from that lang. Ayaw na ng customer, magagalit na, tapos gagawa ng feedback. How do you guys address it? Malicious feedbacks? Or you want to call it as false? I mean, there are instances like that, di ba? Kawawa naman ang ating mga bikers. So how do you guys handle that?
Well, syempre, kami, investigation both sides, no? Nadinig namin yung panig nung pasahero, pero syempre, kakausapin din namin yung driver, no? But I guess there's also technology to find out saan ba talaga binaba, saan ba talaga pinin. So this is also technology. That's also where you marry, people and technology. We can verify where exactly the pin was pinned, I guess, and then where they were actually dropped off. And then you also talk to both customers and the drivers to see sino ba talaga yung nasa lugar, no? But I also wanna use this as a segue, no? We have Grab maps, and we actively update the pin locations, no? So for instance, we can work with MMDA to make sure na yung pins na available dun sa app ay yung tamang babaan
Yung tama.
lamang ng mga sakayan. We also collaborate with DOTR to pre-designate dun sa Grab Maps saan ba yung tamang babaan para sumakay sa EDSA busway. So we can also coordinate with government and even private businesses. No, if you go to your favorite malls, at nag-pin ka, minsan automatically naka-define na saan ba yung entrance o saan yung pick-up
Lobby,
point
drop-off.
o lobby.
Oo.
Meron pa siyang tinatawag na video guide, no? Kung saan ka nag-pin, i-video guide ka pa kung saan yung pick-up area. So we can do all of these. Aside from, using this for investigation, we can also use this to make sure that moving forward, may iwasan natin yung mga ganitong klaseng mga scenarios.
Ayan. At least ngayon, guys, alam nyo na, no? Yung mga basta-basta lang na gumagawa ng feedback just because of hindi lang kayo naibaba ng tama, like 10 meters away, alam nyo, sometimes we have to be more considerate as well sa ating mga riders. Kasi, alam nyo, araw-araw, umulan man, umaraw, mahangin man, we also have to be considerate and be sensitive to our riders. At going back, nabasa ni Ira ang gusto kong itanong next. Ang gusto namin malaman naman, as ride-hailing apps in the private sector, what do you guys think na ano pa yung pwede nating improve? Ano pa yung pwede nating i-collaborate? And what else can we, I mean, maybe in the near future, ano pa yung sa tingin nyo na pwede nating gawin na as partnerships in the private sector and us in the government, what else can we do? Not only to strengthen the programs, but also to keep on improving. Alam naman natin ang kalsada, there's no such thing as stagnant, di ba? It's always moving forward. So moving forward, ano pa ang nakikita nyo na pwede nating i-partner up at pwede nating maging improvement level, not only with the customers, but also with you guys and of course yung mga riders nyo at mga bikers nyo. Maybe we can start with Angkas naman.
Yes, sir. Siguro, not really a kwento, pero nung sinimulan po namin yung Angkas about 10 years ago, maalala nyo po, it started off as an unregulated bagong category. Ito sa disruptor in the field. Sa madaling salita, no one knew how to regulate specifically yung mga motorcycle riders. But through government recognition, after 10 years, here we are, and it's an entirely new industry. But dahil bagong industriya po ito, napakaraming, na-realize natin later on na, teka lang, it's an entirely new and a very big demographic na ang dami palang habal-habal riders sa buong Pilipinas.
Totoo yan.
Conservatively, it's around, I think, at least 2 million na 2 million riders na naghahabal, no? They use their motorcycles as their primary source of livelihood. Hindi lang sa Metro Manila, sa Cebu, sa CDO, but
Yes.
Across the Philippines. Ibig sabihin, kung meron palang ganitong kalaking mga demographic o grupo ng tao, baka government can think of a way to download social amelioration or economic programs through not just the apps but through halimbawa DSWD, pero and we started it recently po nung nagkaroon po tayo ng fuel crisis. We recognize that this is an entirely new demographic. Tulungan natin sila. In short, how does it translate in real time? SSS, PhilHealth, Pag-ibig, kung may benefits from MMDA, I think a good start is, ang unang tanong natin is, anong gagawin natin para sa mga riders natin? Dahil napakarami nila.
What we can do for
What
them.
can we do for them? Of course, bawat agency po magbabago yan.
Yes.
PhilHealth, SSS, Pag-ibig, DSWD. Siguro po for MMDA, it's really more of the disiplina sa kalsada. We've started that. Ang mga programa ng MMDA has been yung Motorcycle Riding Academy. Ito pong NCAP,
Yes.
facilitation with DICT para mas mapabilis yung pagproseso ng payments. More on road discipline. Sa ngayon po, nakikita na natin yung effects of that, no? But if we can have more programs centered around road discipline and making programs like road discipline more efficient for riders, palagi ko, sir, that would be a good start already.
Very good insight. Move it, please.
Yes, para sa move it, ang pinaka vision na nakikita namin is how do we make public transport the best option right now? There's a lot of dependencies on private vehicles, but as you see, it's very inefficient, no? Versus what public transportation is, whether it's public transportation or it's via our apps, no? Us here. And to make it efficient, I think yun yung pwedeng ibida na ginagawa ng government correctly now. It's strong push on digitalization. If you've noticed, when we attended yung eGov launch, I think that's the perfect step towards keeping the drivers on the road thanks to digital disruption. You don't have to go to an office and then spend a few hours. Now you can just pay sa app and then continue with your work after, no? And everything is monitored transparently. Same with what we're trying to do with our apps. We try to, with the help of digital technology, make transportation efficient. If you've noticed, if you book a ride now, before, during my time, you actually had to go out, stand on the sidewalk, and then hope na may lalapit. Now, at the comfort of your own bedroom, kahit
Pwede ka na,
nakahiga
no?
ka, dadating na yan sa harap mo. And that's all powered by real-time digital technology. And it's nice that if we keep on pushing each other, public and private, to push the boundaries on what scaling digitalism can do, I think public transportation as the number one option is very close, no? And that's my hope. Like, you just step out, hindi mo naisipin, kailangan ba bumili ng kotse? Kailangan ba bumili ng motor? Ang dali na mag-commute ngayon eh. I think that'll make it efficient.
Easier and comfort for
Correct.
everyone.
And safe.
And safe.
And safe, yes.
Picking up from what Cesar said, no, integration and ecosystems, no. When you look at all of these modes of transportation, from two-wheel to four-wheel to private vehicles, public transport, it really needs to be viewed as an entire ecosystem. It's not like Lord of the Rings, where one
Yes.
ring rules them all. No? It's really each of these modes of transportation handing over and supporting each other. no?
Correct.
So say, for example, people can ride a two-wheel to an EDSA busway station and then take an onward journey, and then pwedeng four-wheel going out. No? So I think one of the things that we want to be seeing in the future would be, I guess, more collaboration with platforms like ourselves. We want to be the platform
Okay.
by which the government, the private sector, even civil society can have this conversation. What will mobility look like in the future? We're at the cusp of that change. How can we now work together to create and I guess map that mobility ecosystem, no? How can all of these modes of transportation work with each other? Because at the end of the day, the backbone of any economy is our transportation system. You don't naman take a jeep for the fun of it, no? Because you're going somewhere.
You're going somewhere,
And
yes.
the reason why you're in cities is because you're either going to school, seeking healthcare, or working. And so mobility is such an important part of that. But on top of introducing a brand new mobility, no, I think it also needs to take time to understand. We've also created a brand new industry. Before nung panahon ng mga magulang natin, 8 to 5 jobs lang, di ba? 8 to 5. Ngayon kasi nangyayari, and with the help of the Philippine Mobility Awards, no, nakausap namin yung mga Grab bike drivers, no. Sa umaga, a lot of them would work and then help their children go home. And they would go home and help their children with their homeworks. But what allows for this to happen is this gig economy, where the drivers can dictate their own time whenever they want to work. They have a better chance of earning what we call a living wage. Yung flexibility that also allows for a nice work-life balance. No? It's such a new industry that we hope we can also work with government to understand how then do we define this, how do we grow this industry, and how do we support it for the betterment of everybody.
I guess we all have to agree that for us to progress and for the improvement of everything, improving the lives of every Filipino through mobility and transportation, we all have to work together, not only in the private sector, but also up to the government. Hindi lang po ito dapat ginagawa ng mga tulad ng mga ride-hailing apps natin today, but we have to collaborate and gawin natin na mas malaki para mas mapabilis ang pagpapaunlad. At not only that, no, but to ensure the safety at complete mechanism of transportation ng ating bansa. And we are very happy and we are very glad that you guys are here today to share your insights, and how I wish that we can go on all day to talk about all the bright ideas and things that we can do to improve everything. But yun nga lang, baka abutin tayo hanggang mga 2 episode. So, we are very thankful once again. Grab, Move It, Angkas. Maraming salamat po sa inyong partnership with us, and also to ensuring that every transportation system keeps on improving. And not only that, tumutulong tayo to improve the lives of our riders, our bikers, and maintaining safety and discipline on our road. So guys, dito po nagtatapos ang isa na namang episode ng Kwentong Kalsada, the MMDA Podcast. So bago po kayo umalis, huwag niyo pong kalimutan mag-like, subscribe, at mag-follow na po kayo para malaman nyo ang susunod na ating episode. So once again, Gabriel Go po, Kwentong Kalsada, the MMDA Podcast.